students, I am Madhuri Abhale from Saraswat International Academy. I am teaching Mathematics of Standard 3rd. Here we are going to continue chapter number 2, Fun with Numbers part 6. So let's start today's session with question number 1. Answer the following questions on the basis of the picture given. So you can see here one picture is given. In this picture there are total 5 children in the garden. One is Jinal, Minal, Sunil, Sneha and Namit. They have picked some seeds. Now let's see. Jinal has collected 26 seeds. Minal has collected 42 seeds. Sunil has collected 39 seeds. Sneha has collected 48 seeds. And Namit has selected 44 seeds. With the help of this data, we need to answer the following questions. So, let's start with number 1. Who collected the most seeds? That means सबसे ज़्यादा seeds किसने collect किए हैं? So we can see here Sneha. Sneha has collected how many seeds? 48 seeds. So we'll write here Sneha and how many seeds? 48 seeds. Question number 2. Who collected the least seeds? That means किसने सबसे कम seeds collect किए हैं? So we can see here Jinal have collected only 26 seeds. So we'll write here Jinal and how many seeds she has collected? She has collected 26 seeds. Question number 3. What is the total number of seeds with Jinal and Sneha? So Jinal seeds is 26 plus Sneha. Sneha has collected 48 seeds. So we need to find out the total number of seeds they both have collected. For that we need to add these two numbers. So let's add these two numbers. 26 plus 48, or you can add 48 plus 26. So 8 plus 6, 14, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. So the total number of seeds collected by Jinal and Sneha is equals to 74 seeds. Next is number 4. What is the total number of seeds with Minal and Namit? So Minal is here with 42 seeds and Namit is here with 44 seeds. Now we need to find out total number of seeds. For that we need to add these two numbers. So 44 plus 42. 4 plus 2, 6. 4 plus 4, 8. So they both collected 86 seeds. Number 5. How many more seeds do Sunil have compared to Jinal? Now here we need to compare Sunil with Jinal. So Sunil has collected 39 seeds. Okay. And we need to compare with Jinal. So Jinal has collected 26 seeds. So how many more Sunil has collected? For that we need to subtract these two numbers. So let's see. 39 minus 26. 9 minus 6, 3. 3 minus 2, 1. So Sunil has collected more 13 seeds as compared to Jinal? Question number 6. How many less seeds do Namit have compared to Sneha? So first of all we'll write the number of seeds collected by Sneha. So Sneha have collected 48 seeds. After that Namit collected 44 seeds. Now how many less Namit has collected? For finding out the answer, we need to subtract these two numbers. So 8 minus 4 equals to 4. 4 minus 4 gives you 0. So 4 seeds less collected by Namit. Now question number 7. How many more seeds do Jinal need to have 30 seeds? Now our given figure is 30 seeds. Okay, so we need to find out how many more seeds do Jinal need to completing her 30 seeds. So Jinal collected 26 seeds. So we'll just subtract these two numbers. 0 minus 6 is not possible. So I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 10. 10 minus 6 will give you 4. Now again I am going to cut this 3 and write here 2. 2 minus 2 equals to 0. So Jinal need 4 more seed to complete her 30 seeds. Question number 8. How many more seeds do Namit need to have 50 seeds? Now our given figure is 50 and seeds collected by Namit is 44. Okay, so how many more seeds Namit need to complete his 50 seeds? So that we need to subtract these two numbers. So 0 minus 4 is not possible. So I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 10. 10 minus 4 equals to 6. Again I will cut this 5 and I'll write here 4. 4 minus 4 will give you 0. So Namit need 6 more seeds to complete 50 seeds. Number 9. How many children have more than 40 seeds? So more than 40 seeds collected by Meenal, Sneha and Namit. So there are three children. Question number 10. After collecting the total seeds with Namit and Sneha, how many more seeds can they need to make it 100? So let's find the seeds collected by Namit and Sneha. So Namit is here and Sneha is here. So let's add these two numbers. Namit has collected 44 seeds and Sneha has collected 48 seeds. So let's add 8 plus 4, 12, 4 plus 4, 8 plus 1, 9. So Namit and Sneha, they both collected how many seeds? 92 seeds. After that, what it has been written over here, they need to make it 100. They collected only 92 seeds and they need to make it 100. So how many more seeds they need to collect? So for that we'll subtract 92 from 100. Let's see. I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 10. 10 minus 2 will give you 8. Again I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 9. 9 minus 9 will give you 0. Again this 1 I will cut and write here 0. and this 0 is as it is. So they need more 8 seeds to complete their 100 seeds. Now let's move ahead. Question number 2. In the test cricket match between India-Pakistan, runs made by Indian batsmen in their first innings are given below. Write the answers to the questions on the basis of it. Now here India-Pakistan match was going. In that, Indian batsmen's runs are given in this table. Let's see. Virat makes 96 runs, Shikhar with 90 runs, Rohit with 89 runs, Suresh with 38 runs, and Dhoni makes 47 runs. Now you can see here one commentator has comment that Virat is out at 96 runs. That means Virat is out of the game. With the help of this table, we need to find out the following questions answer. So let's begin with number 1. Who scored the highest runs? So you can observe this table and you can see that which one is the highest number? 96. That means Virat has scored the highest runs. So we'll write here Virat with how many runs? 96 runs. Question number 2. Who scored the lowest runs? So with the help of this table, who makes the lowest run? 38. That means Suresh. So we'll write here Suresh with how many runs? 38 runs. Question number 3. How many runs did Virat need to complete a century? Everyone knows that century equals to how many? 100 runs. Okay, so Virat has made 96 runs. So how many more runs Virat need to complete his century? For that, we need to subtract 96 from 100. So I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 10. 10 minus 6 will give you 4. Again I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 9. 9 minus 9 will give you 0. I will cut this 1 and I'll write here 0. And here 0 as it is. So Virat needs more 4 runs to complete his century. Now question number 4. How many total runs are made by Dhoni and Suresh? Now we need to find out total runs made by Dhoni and Suresh. For finding out total runs, we need to add these two numbers. So 47 plus 38. 8 plus 7, 15. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 1, 8. So they both made how many runs? 85 runs in all. Now question number 5. How many runs did Rohit need to complete a century? Again, a century means how many runs? 100 runs. And Rohit has made 89 runs. So how many more he need to complete his century? For that we need to subtract these two numbers. So I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 10. Now 10 minus 9 equals to 1. I will cut this 0 here and I'll write here 9. 9 minus 8 will give you 1. I will cut this one here and I'll write here 0. 0 will write as it is. So, Rohit need more 11 runs to complete his century. Now, question number 6. How many runs did Suresh need to complete 50? 50 means half century. So, we'll first write 50, the given figure, and Suresh had made 38 runs. So, 38. So, how many more Suresh need to complete his half century? For that, we need to subtract these two numbers. So, I'll cut this 0 here and I'll write here 10. 10 minus 8 will give you 2. I will cut this 5 here and I'll write here 4. 4 minus 3 equals to 1. So, Suresh needs more 12 runs to complete his half century. Now, question number 7. Is the total runs made by Dhoni and Shikhar more or less compared to total runs made by Virat and Suresh? So, first we need to show the calculation of Dhoni and Shikhar's total run. After that, we need to calculate the total runs made by Virat and Suresh. So, first we'll calculate the total run made by Dhoni and Shikhar. So, Dhoni is here and Shikhar is here. So, 90 plus 47. 0 plus 7 equals to 7. 9 plus 4 equals to 13. So, Dhoni and Shikhar, they made 137 runs together. Okay. Now, we need to find out Virat and Suresh total run. So, Virat has made 96 runs and Suresh has made 38 runs. So, let's find how many total runs they both made. 8 plus 6, 14, 10 plus 3, 13. So, 134 runs Virat and Suresh made. So, let's read the question again. Is the total runs made by Dhoni and Shikhar more or less? Now, 137 is made by Dhoni and Shikhar. 134 runs made by Virat and Suresh. So, obviously, Dhoni and Shikhar has made more runs than Virat and Suresh. So, we'll write here more. Now, we need to find out how many more runs Dhoni and Shikhar has made. For that, we need to subtract these two numbers. That means 137 minus 134. 7 minus 4, 3. 3 minus 3, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. So, they made 3 more runs as compared to Virat and Suresh. Now, number 8. How many players scored runs more than 80? So, let's see the answer in this table. More than 80. So, Virat, Shikhar and Rohit. So, 3 batsmen are there. So, I will write here 3. Question number 9. How many players scored runs less than 50? So, you can see here Suresh and Dhoni. They both made runs less than 50. So, we'll write here 2. Now, question number 10. How many runs did Dhoni need to complete a half century? So, half century, that means 50 runs. Okay. And Dhoni has made 47 runs. So, let's see how many more runs Dhoni need to complete his half century. So, 0 minus 7 is not possible. So I will cut this 0 and I'll write here 10. So 10 minus 7 equals to 3. Now I will cut this 5 and write here 4. So 4 minus 4 equals to 0. So Dhoni needs more 3 runs to complete his half century. Now question number 3. Write the following numbers in words. Now you need to write the numbers in words. Number 1, 169. So 9 is on ones place, 6 is on tens place. So at the time of we pronounce the number or we write in numbers, we pronounce these two digits together. And 1 is on 100 place. So how we'll pronounce this number? 169. Okay, so you can see here I have already write 100, HUNDRED, 169. Number 2, 145, 145. 5 is on ones place, 4 is on tens place, and this 1 is on 100 place. So again the last two digits will pronounce together and this one will pronounce differently. So the place value of 1 is 100. So 145. Number 3, 144. This 4 is on ones place. This 4 is on tens place. And the 1 is on 100 place. Again the last two digit will pronounce together. So 144. Number 5, 183. 3 is on ones place, 8 is on tens place, 1 is on 100 place. So again 183. Now why we pronounce last two digits together? So suppose 183. This is a number. The 1 place value is 1000. The 8 place value is 80 because it is on tens place. And the 3's place value is 3 because it is on ones place. So 1083 will pronounce like this. 1083. Okay. Now let's take 103. So the place value of 1 is 100. 0's place value is 0. So we will not pronounce this because when we write in words, we did not write the place value of 0. And this 3 is on ones place. So 103 is your answer. Let's take another example. We'll take number 4. 190. 1 is on 100 place. 9 is on tens place. That means the value of 9 is 90. And this 0 is on ones place. That means the place value of 0 is 0. Again, when we write the numbers in words, we will not include this 0 when we write in numbers. So let's see the place value 190. So with the help of this method, you need to solve the other 3 numbers in your homework. Question number 4. Write the following numbers in figure. Now, the word form of number is given and we need to find out the figures of that number. So, let's see 113. So, we'll first divide into two parts 113. So, how we'll write 100? Like this. Then 13. Now add these two numbers 3, 1, 1. So 113. We'll write like this 113. 113. If you can solve directly, you can also write it directly, or if you want to solve, you can. Let's see next. Number 2, 160. Again, I am going to classify into two parts. First one is 100. So, I will write 100. After that 60. So, how will write 60? 60. Now, add these two numbers. 0, 6, 1. So, 160 will write as this. Number 3, 148. So again we'll distribute this word into two parts. So first we'll write 100. So 100 and 48. I will write 48. Now add these two numbers 8, 4, 1. So 148 will write is 148. Number 4, 150. Again make two parts. First part is 100. So I will write 100 and 50. I will write 50, 50. Now add these two numbers 0, 5, 1. So 150, 150. Next, number 5, 187. Again make two parts. 100 is one part and 87 the other. So I will write first 187. 87. Now add 7, 8, 1. So 187 will write as 187. Number 6, 109. Again two parts. First we'll write 109. So we'll write 9 here. So add these two numbers 9, 0, 1. So 109 will write as 109. Number 7, 120. So let's make two parts 120. So I will write first 100, after that 20. Now add these two numbers 0, 2, 1. So 120, 120 is your answer. Next, number 8, 167. Again make two parts 167. So first we'll write 100. After that 67. Now add these two numbers 7, 6, 1. So 167 is a number form of 167. Number 9, 195. So again distribute in two parts. First we'll write 100. After that 95. Now add these two numbers 5, 9, 1. So 195 is a number form of 195. So with the help of this method, you need to solve number 10, 11 and 12 in your notebook by yourself. Now question number 5. Expand the numbers given below. So let's start with number 1. 117, that means 117. Now hundreds plus tens and ones is written over here. Now with the help of place value, we need to write the numbers in their respective columns. So 117, the place value of 7 is ones, the place value of 1 is tens, and this one is on 100 place. So we just need to write 117 on their respective place value. Again in second question 134. So 4 is on ones place, so we'll write here 4. 3 is on tens place, so we'll write the 3 in tens column, and 1 is on 100 place, so we'll write 1 in 100 column. So with the help of place value, you can solve these sums. Now number 3, 185. 5 is on ones place, 8 is on tens place, and this 1 is on 100 place. So with the help of this place value, we need to write in their respective blanks. Fourth one, 102. 2 is on ones place, 0 is on tens place, and 1 is on 100 place. So again you need to write the place value as per the given blanks. So you can see here 1 in 100 column, 0 is in tens column, and the 2 is in ones column. With the help of place value, you need to solve 5th and 6th is in your homework. Now number 6. Write the figures for the expanded forms given below. So let's start with number 1. 100, 4 tens, 5 ones. So first we'll write 100. After that 4 tens. 4 tens means 40. Okay. And 5 ones means 5 as it is. Now add these 3 numbers. 5, 4 and 1. So your answer is 145. So you can see here 145. Let's see number 2. 100, 3 tens, 7 ones. So I will write here 100, 100, then 3 tens. That means 30, 30, and 7 is on ones place. So add these 3 numbers. 0 plus 0 plus 7. 7, 3 here and 1 here. So 137 is your figure. Now number 3. 100, 0 tens, 4 ones. Now 100, 0 is on tens place. So if you write 2 zeros, then also it is valid, or you can write 1 0. It can be possible because it is in 0 form. Now 4 is on ones place, so we'll write here 4. Now let's add this number 4, 0, 1. So 104 is your answer in figure. Now with the help of this, you need to solve 4, 5 and 6 question by yourself. Now number 7. Write the place value of each digit in the numbers given below. So number 1 is 135. Write the place value of each digit in the number. Now we need to find out the number form of place value. So first I will explain the place value. 5 is on ones place, 3 is on tens place, and 1 is on hundred place. Okay, so first of all, the place value in number is 100, so I will write here 100. Okay, now plus 3 is on tens place, so the value of 3 is 30, and 5 is on ones place, so value of 5 in number as it is 5. So this is the place value in terms of numbers. So you can see here 100, 30 and 5. Number 2 is 107. 1 is on 100 place, so 100. 0 is on tens place, so you can write 2 zeros or you can write 1 0 also. Now 7 is on ones place, so only 7. So you can see here 100, 0 and 7. Number 3, 160. 1 is on 100 place, 6 is on tens place, that means 60, and 0 is on ones place. So you can see here 100, 60, 0. So 100, 60, 0. So with the help of place value in number form, you can calculate these sums. Number 4, 139. Again 1 is on 100 place, 3 is on 30th place and 10th place, so we'll write here 30, and 9 is on ones place, so we'll write here 9 as it is. Now with the help of this method, you need to solve question number 5 and question number 6 by yourself. Now let's start question number 8. Write the number represented by each abacus. Now you can see here the abacus is given. So the first row is in 100 form, the second one is in tens place, and the third one is on ones place. So with the help of counting bits, we need to write or we need to create the number. So let's start question number 1. In first row, in 100 row, how many beads are there? Only 1 beads is there. In second row, that means in tens column, there are total 4 beads are there, and in ones column there are total 6 beads are there. So we create one number, that is 146. So with the help of place value and these beads, we create this number. So our answer is 146. 146. Now question number 2. On 100 column, 1 bead is there. In tens column, there are total 6 beads are there, and in ones column there are 3 beads. So we create our number, that is 163. So our answer is 163. Now the third one, in 100 place there are 1 bead. In second column, that means in tens 3 beads are there, and in last, that means in ones column, there are total 8 beads are there. So the number formed is 138. Now I would like to explain here that the values of these beads. So let's take number 1. In 100 place there are one bead, so the value of that one bead is in 100 form, that means 100, that the one bead value contains 100. On tens place there are total 4 beads are there, that means the 4 beads value is 40. And in ones place there are total 6 beads are there, so value of that 6 beads is 6. For counting we need to add these numbers, so 6 4 1, so 146 is your answer. So you can also apply this method or you can directly write the answer. Again let's take number 4. On 100 place one bead is there, that means 100. In tens place 2 beads are there, that means 20. And in ones there are total 4 beads. Let's add these 3 numbers, 4 2 1. So answer is 124. Number 5. In 100 column one bead is there. In tens column there are total 5 beads are there. In ones column there are total 5 beads. So our number is 155, that means 155. So with the help of any method you need to solve number 6, 7 and 8 by yourself. Now question number 9. Put round around the smallest number and square around the greatest number. So let's start with number 1. The numbers are 89, 169, 107, 183 and 148. So these all numbers is in 100 form, okay, but 89 is in tens form. There is no 100 number is there, so the smallest number is 89, so we'll just make a round around this number. Now we need to find the greatest number, so we'll start from the place value 1 1 1 1. They all are on 100 place, okay. After that 6 0 8 4. So from these numbers which one is the greater? 8 is greatest number. So with the help of this method we get our greatest number, that is 183. So we'll just put one square around the number. Now number 2. 127, 139, 148, 156, 177. First of all we'll find out the smallest number. So 1 is common in every number. Now we'll concentrate on the middle numbers to finding out the smallest number. So 2 3 4 5 7. Which one is the smallest number? 2. So we'll get here the smallest number, that is 127. With the help of middle numbers we can also conclude our greatest number. So 2 3 4 5 7. Which one is the greatest number? 7. So 177 is your greatest number. So we'll put here square. So with the help of place values we can solve this question. Now number 3. 121, 111, 141, 161, 191. So again the first number is same, 1111. Now we'll concentrate on the middle numbers. Okay, so let's start. 2, 1, 4, 6, 9. Which one is the smallest? 1. So we'll got here the smallest number. Just put circle over it. Now same from the middle numbers, which one is the greatest? 9. So put a square around this number. So again we got our smallest and greatest number by using place values. So with the help of this you can solve number 4. Now question number 10. Write the just preceding number. That means you need to write the previous number. So let's start. Number 1 dash comma 130. That means you need to write the previous number of the 130. So for finding, if you know, then you can write directly, but if you can't solve this, so simply for finding out preceding number you just need to subtract 1 from this number. So 0 I will cut here and write here 10. 10 minus 1, 9. I will cut this 3 here and I'll write here 2. 2 minus, there is no digit, so 2 as it is and 1 as it is. So the previous number of 130 is 129. So by subtracting 1 from the number we get the preceding number. So the first answer is 129. Now number 2 dash comma 175. Now again 175 minus 1. 5 minus 1, 4. 7 as it is, 1 as it is. So previous number of 175 is 174. Number 3 dash comma 191. Again 191 minus 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 9 as it is, 1 as it is. So the previous number of 191 is 190. That means 190. Number 4 dash comma 149. So again 149 minus 1. So 9 minus 1, 8. 4 as it is and 1. So our answer is 148. Next question number 5 dash comma 156. So for finding out the before number of 156 we need to subtract 1 from the number 156. So 6 minus 1, 5. 5 as it is and 1. So 155 is the before number of 156. Number 6 dash comma 117. So 117 minus 1. 7 minus 1, 6. 1 as it is and this one as it is. So the before number of 117 is 116. Next question number 7 dash comma 110. So again 110 minus 1. So 0 minus 1 is not possible. So we need to cut this 0 and we'll write here 10. 10 minus 1, 9. Now we need to cut this one and we'll write here 0. So 0 will put here as it is because there is no number here. Now 1 as it is. So the before number of 110 is 109. 109. Now question number 8 dash comma 186. Again 186 minus 1. 6 minus 1 5. 8 as it is, 1 as it is. So the before number of 186 is 185. With the help of this method, you need to solve number 9, 10, 11 and 12 by yourself. Now, question number 11. Write the just succeeding number. In question number 10, we solve preceding number. Now in question number 11, we need to write the next number. So number 1 is 169 comma dash. Now we need to write the next number of this number. So if you know the direct answer, you can write directly, but if you want to solve this, then you need to add 1 in 169. So let's add this. 9 plus 1 10, 1 carry, 6 plus 1 7 and 1 as it is. So the next number of 169 is 170. That means 170. Number 2, 175 comma dash. Again we need to add 1 for finding out the next number. So 175 plus 1. 5 plus 1 6. 7 as it is, 1 as it is. So next number of 175 is 176. Now question number 3, 132. So the next number of 132, for that we need to add 1, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 as it is and 1. So 133 is the next number of 132. Number 4, 127. So the next number of 127 is, let's add 1, 7 plus 1, 8, 2 as it is and 1. So 128 is the next number or succeeding number of 127. Number 5, 103. So let's find the succeeding number. Add 1, 3 plus 1, 4, 0 and 1. So the succeeding number of 103, that means 103, is 104. Next is number 6, 140, that means 140. So let's calculate the succeeding number of 140. Add 1, 0 plus 1, 1, 4 and 1. So 141 is the succeeding number of 140. So with the help of this method, you need to solve the other sums. Now question number 12. Write the middle number. In question number 10, you had solved previous number. Okay, that means preceding number. In question number 11, you solve succeeding number, that means next number. Now in question number 12, you need to write the middle number. So let's see. 106 comma dash comma 108. So after 6, 7 will come. So 107, that means 107 is your answer. For finding out the middle number, you can also apply one method, that is, first we'll take 106 and we'll add the 1. So 701, 107 is your next number. Next is 117, comma, dash, comma, 119. So 117 and 119 is given. So 117, after that 118. The number 3 is 138, 138, comma, dash, comma, 140. So 138, 139, and then 140 will come. So with this we can solve the middle number. Next is number 4, 158 dash 160. So 158, then 159, then 160. So middle number is 159. Number 5, 166 dash 168. So 166, 167, 168. So our middle number is 167. So with this you need to solve number 6, 7, 8 and 9 by yourself. Now question number 13. Write the numbers in ascending order. Now first of all, ascending order means smaller number to greater number. Okay, so let's start. 148, 184, 174, 104, 164. Now the first digit is 1 in every number. Okay, so we'll concentrate on the middle number. Okay, so which one is the smallest? 0. So it will come first because we are going smaller to greater. After 0, 4 will come. So number 2 is this number. Then 6 will come. So this one is number 3. Then this 7 will come. So this is number 4. And after that 8. So the number 5th is 184. So with the help of this method, we can easily go through the smallest number to greatest number, that means in ascending order. So the first number is 104, then 148, then 164, then 174, and the greatest number is 184. You can see here I have already solved this question. Now the number 2 number is 105, 150, 160, 140, 130. So in all these number, the first digit is 1. So we'll concentrate on the second digit. So which one is the smallest? 0, 5, 6, 4, 3. So 0 is the smallest. So this will come on the first position. After 0, 3 will come. So this is on second position. after 3, 4, after 4, this 5 will come on 4th position, and last the greatest number is 160. So with the help of this ranking method, we can solve our ascending numbers. The third one you need to solve by yourself in homework. Now question number 14. Write the numbers in descending order. Now we need to solve the sums by greatest to smallest. That means first we'll need to see the greater number, then one by one we'll go to smallest number. So let's start. Number 1, 174, 136, 118, 181, 163. So again the digit 1 comes in every number, so we'll go through with the second digit. So first we'll find out the greatest number. So which one is the greatest number? 8. So this comes on first position. After 8, 7. The second position. Then 6. Third position. Then third. Fourth position, and last one on 5th position. So we can go greatest number to smallest number like this. Now number 2. 130, 130, 103, 170, 107, 180. Again we are going through the middle number. Now you can observe that we are going to greater to smaller. Okay, so which one is the greater? 8. So it will come on first position. After that 7 on second position. Then 3 on third position. Now we can observe here there are 2 zeros. For that we need to see the third digit for concluding which one is the greater number after 130. So which one is the greatest? 3 or 7? 7. So we'll put the next rank to this number, and the very smallest number is 103. So again with the help of place value we solve this sum. Now the number 3 you need to solve by yourself. Now let's see number 15. Write the number represented by each figure. So hundreds, tens and ones is given here. Okay, this box contains 100 boxes, small boxes. Okay, so we'll write these boxes as 100. Now you can see here 2 rows are there. So in one row there are total 10 boxes, and in second row again there are 10 boxes. So how many rows are there? Total 2. Okay, with 20 boxes. So we'll write here 20. And in last column ones there are total 6 boxes are there. So we'll write 6. Now add these numbers. 6 to 1. That means 1 to 6. 126 is your number. And you can also solve directly. The one box is in 100 place. This is on tens place and the ones place. So 100, there are 2 rows. So 2 is on tens place. And how many beads are there? 6 beads are there. So directly we conclude 126 6. Now number 2. 100 place, tens place and ones place. In 100 place there are 3 boxes were there. Box, big box. I was talking about big box. So 3 total 3 boxes are there. And in tens, how many rows are there? 4 rows are there. So in tens we'll write 4. And in ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total 7 boxes are there. Our number is 347. So with the help of these beads, we can figure out the number represented by these pictures. Number 3. See, 100, tens and ones. In 100, 2 such big boxes are given. In tens, how many rows are there? 3 rows are there. And in ones, there are total 4 beads are there. So our number is 2, 3, 4. That means 234. With the help of this, you can solve the number 4 by yourself. Let's see 100, tens and ones. So in 100, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different big boxes are given. In tens, how many rows are there? 4. So we'll write here 4 in tens. And in ones, how many beads are there? 5. So 445, we got this number. Now number 16, write the number represented by each abacus. So we already solved this number. We already solved these questions before. Let's see number 1. So places were 100, tens and ones is given. In 100 place there are total 3 beads are there. In tens there are total 6 beads are there. And in ones no beads were there, so we'll write here 0. So we create a number 360. That means 360. Number 2, again 100, tens and ones. On 100 place there are total 6 beads are there. In place of tens, again 6 beads are there. In ones, there are total 4 beads are there. So we conclude our number as 664. That means 664. Number 3, again 100, tens, ones. In 100 column, there are total 7 beads are there. In tens column, there are total 8 beads are there. And in ones column, there are total 5 beads are there. So the number is 785. That means 785. Number 4, 100, tens and ones. In 100 place, there are total 4 beads. In tens place, there are total 6 beads are there. And in ones place, there are 2 beads. So the number is 462. That means 462. With the help of this method, you need to solve question number 5 and question number 6.